Woodbine Racing Live, the home of the one, the only Elisa Blow, and yours truly, Jeff Bratt, to bring you coverage of our 7-race program. And today we are racing, as Robert would say, under scratchy skies.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden it got kind of gray here. I gotta say, like, this morning when they said we were off of the turf,
why?
I'm like, why? Why did they come off of the grass today? It was absolutely lovely in Niagara, but I understand you guys got a lot of rain.
Well, you have the dome there, right? Yeah, so you just closed the dome.
The
so
skies are much more beautiful in wine country.
That's right. Although the grapes could use a little bit of water, I'm told. But great to have everybody with us. As Robert said, we're looking forward to some major stepping stones towards the Plate and the Oaks coming up this weekend.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna have steak on Saturday, which will be a prep for the Oaks, and then one on Sunday. But we don't know what's happening yet with that or who's entered into that.
7 right now.
Yeah, so we'll find out soon. Open, I think there's been some issues nationwide with the computer system that does entries, bookkeeping, keeps track of everything that we need to know at a racetrack. And understand it's been down for the last few days,
it's been up
but
and
it opens
down,
up and then it goes down, and so it's been a bit of an issue. But I'm sure we'll get an overnight sooner or later for Sunday.
You know what I do when that happens? I just reboot.
Do you?
Reboot.
I just unplug it back in.
Now, speaking of technology, because this was kind of a major portion of this movie that came out on this day. Well, I should say this. This person took the day off school 40 years ago.
Get out of
1985.
Town. You're kidding. Ferris did?
Ferris Bueller, June 5th, 1985. He took the day off school.
What did the shirt say? Free Ferris.
Yes.
I think it was.
Did you hear about Ferris? Bueller. We were not sure about any of these individuals being absent, though, on Sunday's program, because after we did the attendance, it was quite clear that they were here, because these fallen individuals had a big day at the office. Pietro won 3, Rafi won 2, Kevin won 3, Cassie won 2, and the average payout was right around $10.
And then I had a couple of limoncello spritzes at home, just as I promised. Last night I was into the peach bellinis. Watch out.
Do they come with like an animal on the top?
It's slushy. It's a slushy. It goes down real easy. And it hits you.
But it's not. Do you find it too sweet though?
Jeff, look, I'm not really one to complain.
Yeah. Once you get to 3 and 4, no problem. But so Sunday, that's a look at the recap there, and just looking at the overall stats right now. You know Robert loves to play the angle with the jock that's got the best ROI.
Right. Yeah.
Any idea who it would be?
No, but I know Robert almost jumped off of the ceiling when Huntmaster won the last race on Sunday.
Yes. So in the top 5 riders right now, Esmond Flores, his ROI is 359.
Well, he's having a fantastic season. I mean, he put on a show on Saturday, won 4 races on the program, including 2 stakes. So
he's not riding the horse in the stake and the Fury. They're putting Deshaun on that horse, which is a little bit interesting.
I don't know.
Rally time. Let's talk about that. Get the topics going here. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's do some hard-hitting analysis now, and we'll start off with the rally factor in here. Okay, so we'll get to Napa Spirit in a couple of seconds, but let's first of all fire up the replay machine and focus in here on Commander at Sea, who lost to Wet and Wild, and I think that's a decent reference.
I do too. I think we're all going to lean towards Napa Spirit. He's at 6-5, but I'm just trying to help you out with a horse at a price that could possibly beat Napa Spirit, or could help you out for maybe the exactor. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2-5 in race number 1 on the program. But yeah, let's take a look back at this first start of the season for Commander at Sea from the Ross Armada barn. This is the thing. This is actually a pretty good first start back. I kind of look at these races, and I've said this before, I look at these races as if they're my own horses, and I say to myself, off of this race, I'm pretty excited about the next start, because I think I got a good run here from this horse. Now, he does have to push himself out there to get a good spot under Austin Adams, who's back aboard again today. But keep in mind that the winner, Wet and Wild, was a winter race down at Oakland Park, so had a slight fitness edge over the others. And the other thing, too, with Commander at Sea as well is he runs well fresh in the season. He did last year. He was a winner at First Asking last season. I think he's a player in this race as well. But the horse to beat, at least on paper, is Mike Dunslow's horse, that being Napa Spirit. I think a lot of us, in fact, all of us, going that way. It's not very often that I'll pick a horse up on top or make it a best bet, and a trainer apologizes to me after the horse races. And last Thursday, I put Mike Dunslow up on top with Daddy's Daisy. I got a lovely apology note from Mike Dunslow, but I also got an excuse on that horse too. So we'll talk about that the next time she's in, and it's a very, very valid excuse. We won't give it away yet, Jeff. But then he said, don't worry, I'll make it up to you in the first race on Thursday. So Napa Spirit is the way I'm going to go. This is a fast horse, seriously a gate to wire threat.
And usually runs very well when fresh too, which is, and they're being very good from a race placement point of view.
Yeah, nobody's getting aggressive, and the horse, is a horse that Dunslow took back, right? I always like that when trainers go and take them back again.
Lisa?
Yes, sir?
How many tattoos do you think I have?
Oh, I know you don't have any. How many do you think I have, Jeff?
I don't know.
A couple.
But the reason why we're talking about tattoos is Tattoos on My Soul in here, who goes for a barn that's off to a great start this season, that being the Deborah outfit. And I think at a bit of a number, this horse might be able to do some damage. I just think that the favorite this race is beatable. I'm not sold on Scored. I'm not sold on Stormy Ocean, so I'm trying to find a bit of a price in this event.
Yeah, like I looked at it the same as you, Jeff, because I think we have the same top selection with Tattoos on My Soul. Now, she does lose her regular rider in Jeffrey Alderson, who's serving days right now, and she'll pick up a very capable rider in Davy Moran, who I don't think we've seen him ride anything for this outfit. So, this is an interesting move here. But aside from the two, I agree with you. I think World Showcase is, in my favorite terms, a hot potato, right? I mean, there's just that big drop from 25 all the way in for 7,500. And Savachi's aboard today. Scored, she needs the front end or she doesn't bother. Stormy Ocean, is a horse that loses the regular rider. Salas picks up Ford. Salas goes to the 7. I haven't seen him ride for this outfit, so this is a new relationship. But yeah, I just think Tattoos on My Soul from the barn that's super live right now. Debbie Rhombus is actually clicking at a 20% average when you're looking at horses that she's racing second time off the lengthy rest. I've pointed this out before. She has some pretty amazing statistics that oftentimes get overlooked, and she could have a really good night tonight. She might win too.
Yeah, our big horse is coming up a little bit later on the program this year, and we'll get to that one coming up a little bit later on the program. Second race starts off the pick 6, Jackpot Power pick 6, and starts off the pick 5 as well. We're going 6.5 there in the second. I don't think I would ever get a tattoo because I'm so scared of the pain factor in it. I know you're like, it's a piece of cake, Jeff. What are you talking about? I don't think I could do it.
I don't think you could either.
Yeah, see? So we're in agreement. Now, are we in agreement with value coming up in race number 4? We're going to skip the third because there's a heavy favorite in the third. But in the fourth race, we're going to go 7 furlongs, maiden 10,000 claimers here in this spot. So are we price shopping in here? Like, do we try and beat Sultry Sophie? What does the Elisa Blow mindset look like here in race number 4 on the program?
I mean, I like that Bob goes to Sophie, right? Because that seems to be his go-to rider.
I would agree.
My only concern is the distance. I'm really not sure if this horse wants to travel 7/8. I think 5.5 is kind of ideally what she wants to do. I'm going to try and beat her here today. I'm looking at this Pat Dixon horse on the drop. Now, I think this is a much more realistic spot for Sinful Forester. Austin Adams will ride. If you look back at last season's races, when they put her in for the $15,000 price tag, at least it turned into some positive events where she finished in 4th both times. Now she's in for 10, off a start for 25, where she showed a little bit. I mean, it wasn't an awful race for her. She was 5th that day, but I'll use her up on top over the 8. And the reason I'm using the 8 is I'm really tuned into this barn in the last couple of few weeks. They've had a really great start. And if you talk to a lot of horse people on the backstretch, they'll tell you too, Devin Gittins is one of the hardest working guys back there. He gallops a lot of these horses. He rubs a lot of these horses. He knows them very, very well. And I think he's spotting them right. So here's a horse who's getting very close with a couple of second place efforts.
Okay, so Sinful Forester probably gets a little bit more action than what the morning line suggests there. Race number 4 will kick off a pick 3 for races 4, 5, and 6, and starts off the pick 4 that will wrap up in the last race of the day. One of my favorite shows to watch at 11 o'clock daily is The Price is Right.
Oh, you know what I've been watching at 11 o'clock daily lately?
What's that?
Leave It to Beaver. It's back on, and it doesn't get old. Well, today he sent in to be a model. Oh yeah, it was really quite funny. Yeah, Beav did. And then he got hustled. No, and then he got hustled into a scam where once they accepted him, just like a lot of agencies. Once they accepted him, then they wanted money. And he had to hire a lawyer.
So I always thought that Wally was like the good-looking guy.
Wally was a good-looking looking guy, you know. But I mean, I used to watch that all the time when you were a kid, especially when you were homesick.
And the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly. But it's back on. It's a hoot.
But now we talk about whiskey and ice.
Yeah. Something else Jeff is too afraid to have.
That's true. The horse handles the turns. I think we're okay. But tell me a little bit about Kitty's Speedy Star.
Oh man, I'm just looking for a price horse in this race, and I know that the race came off of the turf. It doesn't really bother me because I think these are horses who are all much better on the main track, and everybody was probably just taking a shot on the grass. So I think you could take a shot at a horse with a price. Whiskey and Ice is a scary type, and I feel a lot better about him now that he's on the main track as opposed to the really tight turns on the inner turf course. Because he gets out. But the 7, Kitty's Speedy Star, makes the second start off of the rest and drops from 40 in a tough spot in for $25,000 today. And just look at who the winner was, Sinclarity. Sinclarity is a perfect 3 for 3 in her career from the Kevin Attard barn. There's no Sinclarities in here. I think she's found a group of horses that might become good friends of hers.
Well, you guessed right on a barn the other day that I never guessed right with, the Richie Morden barn. You got that barn.
But I love that horse.
And then Kathy Patton, I never guessed right either. So.
I know. Yeah, but no matter who has Fighter in the win, I'm going to pick that horse. I just love him.
Gutsy effort. Gutsy efforts. Okay, let's get to race number 6 on the program in here. We've seen a bunch of 2-peats. We haven't seen a 3-peat as of yet. So give me your 0 being like impossible, not going to happen, to 100% you think it's going to happen. What percentage do you put on Gizmo's BFF? Putting 3 consecutive races together, considering the fact that Worth never won a race last season.
It's hard to do, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know that. And we say that every year. 2 in a row, fine. 3 in a row is a really hard thing to do, especially, like you said, for a horse who wasn't really playing the game last season. And now all of a sudden, at 7 years old, she's really woke up. Now, this is her last race on the 16th, and I'm only really showing you this because the win is at 6.5, which is the distance that she's going here today. She had no problems winning at 3/4, like she won by 2. When you asked her to go the extra half a furlong, she was able to just hold on to get the win. But when a mare is feeling great, they can really go on these kind of tears. And the only thing that I worry about is 3 in a row. It's hard. It's hard for a good horse to do, and it's hard for an inexpensive horse to do as well. So I'm going to go to this horse reluctantly because I think you have to try to beat her, but then you kind of take a look around. There's a couple scratches from here. You take a look around and go, who can really beat her?
Yeah.
Maybe Cephalo, who was 4th.
Lady Moonshine's capable. I don't trust her off the layoff, but I think she's good enough if she's 100% fit in here.
Yeah.
Does the fact that Foolish Games, albeit against easier, running off the screen of 40 the other day to win, does that make you feel a little bit better about Gizmo's BFF, or you already felt good with the race?
I don't know. I did watch some of the races from Fortieri on Tuesday. I found a lot of them kind of boring because they were just really stretched out. There wasn't a race where they finished together on the line. It was like the first horse, then 2 lengths back was the second horse, then 2 lengths back was the third horse. They were really staggered.
Yeah.
I didn't find any of the races really that exciting, and I thought that Foolish Games, I was going to pick the horse no matter what. And in fact, we were just talking about that off camera. That barn, the Tony Adamo barn, has been claiming a ton of horses.
And off the claim, they can't lose. Can't
lose, and they're sending out horses on tomorrow's program off the claim that you're going to want to zero in on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to FTS. Is that a swear word? No, it's first time starter. So we're talking about here in race number 7. And, I was watching the Belmont Saratoga show this morning when I came in, and they were talking about, sometimes we get enamored with the fresh faces in races because we've seen those already. So is that one of those cases where it's like, you know what? I've seen what you can do. I've seen what you can do. I want to see what these first-time starters can do in this race.
Yeah, because there's a few firsters. There's 3 firsters in here, and I think you and I are both using them, right? Yep. I'm going to use this 2-horse Sweet Valentine from a really good barn right now, that being the Barb Minchell outfit. She has a horse on Saturday's card that I'm really excited to see. I did pick the horse, but I really don't know that much about it, which is the first Boleum that we're going to see race, and those Boleums were hot at the sale last year. But this Sweet Valentine that she she sends out is a horse that wasn't purchased for very much money locally, and does get Sofia Vivez. It's a third foal. She's had one winner. The mare only raced a few times, but it doesn't seem to matter. Right now, whatever Barb Mitchell's doing is working because she's found the winner's circle on a couple of occasions. The 8 is interesting to me as well. Holy Moly Me Oh My for that hard-working Devin Gittins outfit. And the 9, a horrible post position for a first-time starter, we would agree. And we don't, just because the barn changed from Paul Buttigieg to Rick Hayashi doesn't mean that we don't still like play these horses first start out, right? We're going to use the same system as we were doing before. If it had Paul's name beside it, we generally left it off first time. Second time was when we saw the big improvement, and that's when we went to it. But this one does race here today. No info I could find on the mare. You were probably able to find some.
Well, she never ran, but she's from the same family as a horse by the name of Red Cabernet, who was a really good one for Ian Black that was a multiple stakes winner.
Yeah, because when I tried to look her up, I couldn't find anything.
Never ran. And Amy's Holly's not great with first-time starters. I just took a shot just thinking, I got to find some value in that race, right? So
and with the firsters, maybe we will. But I actually wrote on the top of it, anyone.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of putting it. It's in here. Plays of the day. When we have 7 races, we're picking place of the day on half the card.
Yeah, exactly. So my ready off the rest horse, Napa Spirit, boo, low price, doesn't matter. I just want to see Mike Dunzo in the winner's circle. Strike Accord is my best bet for the day in race number 3 on the program.
I'm glad that horse is not in the pick 4.
Yeah.
Because I reluctantly picked that horse today.
I know, but you know what? This horse made my horse to watch list. So I had already had a star beside it.
Last time,
Kitty Speedy Star, that's my price play. We talked about that one from the Kathy Patton outfit, and then Sweet Valentine is my first-time starter that I'm going to, play in all sorts of different ways. But mostly we'll take a look at the price and see if it's just worth a good win bet, or if we play it in exotics.
Okay, as for me, I am going with the following. My price play is Tattoos on My Soul. I'll do a little win in place, sprinkle around with that one. Same with my value play, although I don't think this is going to be a value play, judged by the fact we're all picking the horse, Sinful Foresters. My key is Gizmo. I realize, as you said, it's hard to go 3 for 3, but as you said, who's going to jump up?
Exactly.
And my debut threats in race number 7, that being Holiday Rose. In terms of our print guys, let's see what Ron and Doug have to say when it comes to their plays of the day. Do you think Ron is chalking today?
No, I'm not going to pick on Ron anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm going to pick on this chalk-eating weasel that picked a 7-5er. But I picked the same horse.
Well, Ron's 3 to 5.
Oh, shoot. I didn't look at that. Okay, well, so we're a whole bunch of weasels.
Yeah, you know what? In everybody's defense, all the handicappers' defense, the options were a little bit limited today to try and find best bets on the card today.
It was hard, and I'll tell you what, it was hard to find price horses on today's program, too. And that being said, watch all the long shots get the wins today.
What do you think about Woodbine TV Prod? They haven't had a winner yet with the plays of the day.
No, I think so far they stink. Whoever it is.
Oh, it is. We can't tell you. English Biscuit. This one makes it onto the clock reports.
I don't know.
I don't know from a win point of view, but maybe you're playing a try or something.
I'm trying to remember if this is the horse that got loose on, it was a couple weeks ago, Jeff, and it was the first race, and the gate wouldn't open, and then we had to switch gates. And then one of George Biller's horses got loose, and I can't remember if it was this one or
Because that doesn't say it in the program.
No, I know.
Yeah, so
and
I
then you didn't have it in your notes, so
Yeah.
it must not have been that one.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate when that happened.
I know.
So let's look at our clock reports. That's it. Show says we're done.
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? What's your favorite scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh, the end with Mr. Rooney when he gets attacked by the dog.
Oh,
and
that was good. That was good.
That's
That
great.
was a good
and then he
scene.
gets on the bus.
Mine is when the guy takes the car for a joyride. You know.
Oh yeah, but that made me nervous. Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
Back in the day, you did think you could like drive your car backwards and the kilometers would come on.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
and then went through the glass.
Could
Go
you?
through the glass.
Yeah, but like I remember being a kid and taking the car when I wasn't supposed to. I'm sure my mother's watching and now I'm going to get in trouble for that, 30-something years later. Thinking if I just drive the car backwards, I can take those kilometers off.
Producer Mike says we're done.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for joining us here today at Woodbine, everybody. Horses for the opener are coming up. We'll get you all set for the first of 7 Altapita racing program for you coming up next.